Hey guys, my name is iWantSuper19. Really weird to say that name for some reason, but I've been watching a lot of Homelabbing slash server making videos, and they're really interesting to me. And I think the most thing I notice about them is like some people they spend $5 on a laptop, and some other people they spend like $20,000 on a server. And the learning is kind of the same. The same learning you get from a $10,000 server is the same as a $5 laptop. Now, obviously the difference is you can run a lot more virtual machines and containers and whatnot on the $40,000, $50,000 server than a $5 laptop. But I think it's really neat that you can just have any sort of hardware that runs, and you can just learn the same amount as somebody who has more money than you and whatnot. So anyhow, you might be asking, how'd you get your $0 laptop? And let me trauma dump on you for a second. So my parents don't fight very often. Obviously every time they fight it's verbal. And this one time my parents fought over something. I don't remember what it is. I actually was downstairs, and my mom, out of frustration, the laptop was in front of me. It's a college laptop, and obviously if you've done any college, you know that you only need like specs enough to power a web browser and Microsoft Word, and that's kind of it. But anyways, out of frustration, she picked up the laptop and hit it, or threw it on the ground, and obviously the screen shattered. And then a couple of weeks later, she wanted a new laptop because it's hard to work with this shattered screen, as you would imagine. So actually I helped her pick out her new laptop. It's got a little better specs, not really so much better, but again, she doesn't really need a better spec laptop. And yeah, she came to me with the other laptop, and she's like, hey, you want this? The shattered one. I was like, yeah, I'll take it, I guess. And it was just really awkward because I know what happened to it. But this kind of reminds me of the video I watched. It was like installing Arch Linux while my parents fighting it back. It's kind of got the same vibe, but anyhow, I digress. And I was like, all right, well, this crappy laptop, I don't know what to do with it. I'm sure I can make a use of it. And initially what I did is I installed Waza on it. It's like a software slash tool. It's what they call CIEM, which is Security Information Event Management. It's basically antivirus on steroids. Again, I'm not going to get into the technical stuff aspect of this video, really. Just kind of an overview. And then I reflashed it and installed Kali Linux on it, just because I was like, all right, I wonder how Kali behaves on bare metal. And again, I heard it's actually not a good idea to do this, so I just kind of messed around with it, and then I put away the laptop, and I haven't seen it in months. Until last week, I was like, all right, well, I have this I have this laptop that I want to turn into something, and since I've been watching a lot of servers, why not turn it into a Proxmox server? So if you don't know what Proxmox is what's known as Type 1 hypervisor, which means it runs on your hardware instead of your operating system. And the ISO is free, so it's a really cool, neat software slash tool that's free. You can get the different ones, not that you really need the other two, but this one is the one I used. Again, there's a lot of videos on how to install it. Really simple. It's like if you ever flashed any sort of ISO, it's kind of straightforward, even with this one. So you also might be wondering, what's your computer spec over laptop spec? So here's the specs, really terrible, as you can already see. We got a CPU i5, Core i5, and then integrated graphics card, memory 8GB, and then 210GB disk, and then a single network card, which is very standard for a laptop, especially a small one, because I have the mini version of a laptop, not the full size. And then you're like, okay, well, so what are you running on there? So I got an Arch server, and if you ever use Arch, it's kind of known to be breaking or break easily somewhat if you don't know what you're doing, or if you play around with it, which I do a lot of. And I actually run Arch on my main system, my main high performance PC, and obviously Arch user over here. And so I have Arch server, Arch Linux as a server, so I can just kind of mess around with it. And anything that might break my server, I won't try on my actual system. So virtualization is not actually new to me, because I've been using VirtualBox for over 4 or 5 years. I really enjoy again, it's very subjective. Some people will tell you VirtualBox is horrible. It works for me for the most part. It's okay. Some people are like, oh, Workstation's a lot better, but like your Linux distros, I feel like virtual machines, tools and softwares is kind of subjective as well. But I got this enterprise lab right here, which runs a pfSense, Arch testing, just like the one you saw right here, kind of similar idea. And then Workstation Linux server, which is an FTP server, I believe, and an Ubuntu server, which is just a normal Ubuntu server that runs Docker and container and Portainer as well. And then Windows Server, which runs nothing. I don't think it's just a server that runs basic AD. Anyhow, back to the Proxmox server. So the Linux server, I just have Ubuntu on there, which runs an FTP server, file transfer protocol. Basically, it's like imagine it's like Google Cloud or Google Drive, but over your own network. Literally, I kind of don't have use for it because, I mean, yeah, that laptop does have 210 gigabyte of storage, but to be honest, I just want to utilize it for the virtual machines and not really any dedicated storage. And I feel like it's more prone to be breaking because it's such an old laptop. I think it's about 6 years old or so. And then after that, I have a Wazoo server, which is, I already talked about it earlier, so it's just the server what I was talking about earlier, except it's on a Proxmox. And then we got Rocky RHCSA and then Fedora RHCSA, which is, if you don't know what RHCSA stands for, Red Hat Certified System Admin. Man, I can't even say that word. Admin. And I've been trying to learn and get better at Red Hat, and so I can take the certification in about a month or so. And if you know anything about Red Hat and how it works, Red Hat is based on Fedora, and Fedora and Red Hat are pretty much the same, other than, Red Hat has an RPM, which Fedora doesn't, I don't think. And then Rocky is based on Red Hat, which is like a 1-to-1 pretty much accurate ISO replication. But anyways, the reason you wouldn't get Red Hat is because Red Hat costs money unless you open a trial. You have to make an account and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, what I need to do that when I have Rocky for free that you can just get, easily. And then this Linux right here, Alpine, I think that's how you say it. I've never actually read that enterprise companies, they run it as a container system because it apparently does well with containers. So I'm not sure. I just installed it and I'm like, all right, I'll take a stab at it. And so far, it kind of behaves like Arch Linux in my opinion. It's not really much different. And I also have this diagram right here. It was made in draw.io. It's like a Visio, but like a free version. I don't have Visio because it costs money. And again, I think it's a good way to show your server, just kind of a simple way. This is super simple, nothing too crazy. So you got your router, your switch, and then your server. Obviously, my laptop is not a... Also, here's a picture of my laptop. I forgot to show you. That's kind of one of the main things. But anyways, I just got a basic like enterprise level server as a picture just to kind of show the idea. And then I got my 5 Linuxes right here, which I already went over. And then this is supposed to be logo for like the different things they run, which again, this thing is a mess and it's not done yet. And yeah, back to this. This is just like my GitHub project. It's like a showcase. It's nothing really interesting. It just talks about what those servers do and kind of sort of on a comprehensive, more technical level. It's not done, obviously, so I have to include a lot more. So yeah, enough scrolling. Let's actually jump into the Proxmox. So the main purpose of doing Proxmox is obviously to learn Proxmox, because I can't really do anything with those virtual machines. They're very low end, juiced up or juiced down, I guess. I don't know how you really say it, but they're not high performance virtual machines because I kind of don't need them to be. And if you, assuming that you have your Proxmox, it's super easy to get it going and have it running those virtual machines. And the way you do it actually is you go to ISO images, and then you upload a new image, and then you go to select file, and then for example here I want to have Hannah Montana Linux as a ISO or as a virtual machine, and then you just click upload, and then basically uploads. We're gonna just click cancel on that because I'm not actually gonna do that. So I got these ISOs right here. I got different ones as I already talked about, and then you can just go to the top right here, create VM, and then you can give it a name. So just say, I don't know how to spell Hannah Montana, Linux, and then just click next, and then OS image, you're gonna choose your OS, so just use Arch Linux for now. And then again, it's super easy, and then I usually go with enable this agent, just better for playback because and then disk, usually give it the right amount. I don't know what that really would be. And I usually check Discord, makes the virtual machine run better. Again, I'm kind of new to Proxmox really. And then you give a couple cores, and then a couple memory, and then network, usually default. And then you just confirm it and makes your virtual machine. And yeah, that's kind of the end of the video. It's already kind of long, and I don't want to go over any of the technical stuff not that there's really much. And to be honest, there's not many stuff on those servers. There's a lot of good tutorials that you can find out there. And I want to show you guys my little project I've been working on to understand Proxmox better. And that's the main point, as I already mentioned. And yeah, I hope you liked watching. I'll definitely make more of those kind of videos because I really enjoy it and they're easy to make. And yeah, like if you like it, dislike if you do, and I appreciate it. Thank you.